and we have a final steps to initiating this joint break and union reset. We've identified the problem. Nigeria Unitary Constitution is the tap from which our woes and miseries flow. When we talk about that, we're looking at insecurity, corruption, mass poverty, agitation, system failure, impunity, election rigging, hopelessness, infrastructural decay, economic freefall, amongst others. We understand these things. And we have told you there's a solution on the table. What is the solution? Turning off the tap by way of wholesale decommissioning of the 1999 Constitution, meaning taking down the 1999 Constitution and take away the power from these people. We don't have money to give anyone. If you want a change, for you to stop begging money and looking for God to come and bring you salvation, this should be your job, your primary job. We watch the so-called church organization, the ACUs and the GOs. We watch them take over from door to door, knocking, telling people, have you heard? You know that Jesus is Christ. Have you heard that the 1999 Constitution is the woes that we are feeling every day? Is the miseries? Is the air condition that you cannot have? Is the food you cannot put on the table for your children? And we want to make it clear that when we are talking about taking down the 1999 Constitution, we are not talking about amendments. So that after Ibunde, because I hear again, will come out and tell you that he has already written the Constitution or the amendments. We are not talking about review or any form of legislative action. Just like South Africa Apartheid Constitution was jettisoned and dismantled, that is what we need to do. And then some ignorant person will say, okay, what are the mechanisms? Thank you guys so much, Nina, Secretariat, and co. Please, thank you guys for putting these things out. Nothing is making sense to them. And we keep telling you guys that their ability to speak English does not determine your acumen. You can be speaking English, with Igbo, or even by silence. And that has been proven in research. The children that are quiet in class, Americans will declare them as dumb. I remember I used to fight with them, and then you report no longer. They will say, oh, the child is delayed because Omakandoji don't always, what are you doing? What did you say? What is this one? They sit there quietly. They recently come up with research that show that those people that sit there and do what they say, but I already knew this. Those children that sit there and say nothing will be able to tell you everything that happened in the classroom, including her teacher Kuziri. And we're telling you that your ability to fluently throw out English words does not mean a thing to us if you don't understand these final steps. Go and hide in shame. Go and throw your degree in the trash if you cannot understand these simple steps. One guy. The mechanism for taking down this 1999 Constitution, turning off the tap, is the immediate shutting down preparation for further elections by St. Peter B. and co. and making sure nobody will take you down that lane. We've given you guys a timeline. How a child that is 0 months to there, 0 week, in the next 8 years of Tinubu would have wasted 7-8 years of their life for nothing, and be owing $230 billion for $2.5 billion that was borrowed. What is the action? What is the next step? The action. The strategy action for activating the election shutdown mechanism is to demand immediate transitioning. So no more guys, the ones that are waiting for somebody to come and prepare a demonstration for you in 6 weeks so that they can kill you and destroy you and put you somewhere you don't even count. If they can do it to Abiola, who the hell are you? Those that are demanding we are demanding for immediate transitioning for union reconfiguration in place of further national election because of this rejected 1999 Constitution. Immediate union dissolution. So this is an opportunity now for you to go to your governors. Continue to help us to share. Go to your governors, because right now they are standing on nothing. Hannah stand on a sinking sand, and any wind that blows will take them down. So maybe now they will listen. So tell them to join the campaign, to join the movement. The battle cry that Ninas is right. No further national election under 1999 Constitution. That political parties must close shop now and do what? Transition now. Nothing more, nothing less. So for Ndio Timbu, people that know that things are not working for us, because they're getting some dollar from the governor, they're there telling us, say, oh, Saludo is doing well, Ndemo is doing well, this one is doing well. We don't want well anymore. That well in Ahwanya that they're doing at 20%, we can replicate it at 1 billion%. We shouldn't be okay with bad behaviors, like Chimamanda said. We shouldn't be dead in making the right choices. We shouldn't be dead in demanding that the right things must be done. We shouldn't be dead in telling the person causing trouble to stop, instead of you going to the person that has gotten the brunt of that person to, Zuzera, it's enough. Yeah, Dika, somebody twisted you guys' brain to be doing the wrong things for the solution that should be on the table. This job has been done. The 5-point proposition of the Ninas Constitutional Force Majeure has set you free. 2020, December 2020, you have been set free from the bondage of the so-called Nigeria election or Nigeria existence. Look back. Nothing has changed for you. Nothing. Every time they do an election, they send they get back 1 million years. Every time they do an election, they send they get back million years. You see the picture that we have there, the domino one that has the union, constitution, and election. You see how we can easily bring everything down once we decide that we have to transition. That in here only claim that we have a union, that we have a constitution, and we have an election to mandate the constitution, to continue the union and the constitution, that we can end it with one lever push. With one lever push, and everything will be over with. With the 5-point proposition of Nina's Constitutional Force Majeure, we are saying there is a formal announcement. There must be a formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria to acknowledge, which they have, because now Hana Abari. That's why you have Fatbunde or something running around, whatever his name is. That's why you have Anyuku running around. That's why you have Ohokeme running around. Criminals everywhere. They don't have the power to make constitution for us. They do not. They can only legislate after we have given them what we want as the basis of our union. The second one is a formal commitment by the federal government of Nigeria to bring down and jettison the 1999 Constitution as the basis of this federation, so that your enemies will not be over you. Your enemies will not be making decisions for you. Your enemies will not be in charge of your security. Your enemies will not be in charge of your education. Your enemy will not be in charge of your existence, for God's sake. Can't you see that they will take our brothers and sisters, give them their own court to hold us down? Our enemies are in charge of our space. The same thing similar in America. You will see a congressman, a congresswoman, had gone on a Congress 30 years, the neighborhood is still on fire. People are being shot every weekend. Nothing is being done. But you have a representative. People, you have been punked. The third point on our proposition is a formal announcement by the federal government of Nigeria suspending further general election under this disputed hellish 1999 Constitution. Because we know that the winner will have to swear to uphold the Constitution. We saw your brother, Soludo, put his hand on the Bible and swear and defend and die and commit suicide over this Nigerian Constitution, Nothing will stop me from dying over it and killing myself over it. That is his basis of being in that position. How can we be there congratulating him when his hand is on the Bible for us to continue to be in subjugation? The fourth one is a formal initiation of a time-bound transitioning process that will midwife the emergence of fresh constitutional protocols by a two-stage process in which the constituent regional blocks will, at the first stage, distill and ratify their various constitutions by referendums and plebiscites, and in the second stage, negotiate the terms of federating afresh, as may be dictated by the outcomes of the referendums and plebiscites. Basically, in a layman's term, we're saying that it's going to be in two stages. The first one is the process by which every regional bloc will now say, hey, this is what we want to be our constitution. We're going to ratify it, and then we agree we can bring it for you to federate us. If we agree that if what we demanded is met, just like our brother said, the European Union, nobody lost their sovereignty over being European Union. They still maintain things. You cannot now ask Turkey to go and be a security operator, how you put his English word, a security provider for Germany, because we know where Turkey stands. You cannot ask Uzbekistan to go and become a security provider for Ukraine. We know where they stand.
Imagine.
So let's stop playing. And in the second stage, after we have come up with constitution, then we are not going to negotiate. We're going to say, look, these are the ones we want, these are the ones that we don't want. And then even after that, we still will put it out for referendum and plebiscite for people to actually say, no, why is this so hard, the black people? Why is this so hard? Haven't you guys shed enough blood of our people? Why is this hard? Why can't we live in peace? Why is it that it's only few, Amechi and Co, that are making millions? Yeah, Amechi's election, he didn't even win. All of a sudden, yeah, like war with his turban and he. Why must we continue to sell our people in 2024? And the last part is a formal invitation, after this is done, to say, please, my people, the people of Nigeria, to come and work and in place a traditional authority which will now specify the modalities for transitioning process, including the composition and the mandate of the transitional authority, as well as a time frame for the transitioning and other ancillary matters. We're trying to do things like civilized people that we are. These are what the things that our forefathers did. They put things out there for referendum. One now will vote and then decide which one works for the community. The culture is supposed to work for the community, not the community working for the culture. That whatever we decide to put in place is supposed to work for us. It shouldn't be against us. Nigeria, as it is currently constituted, is against the people of the indigenous peoples, not there. Nigeria, as currently constituted, is against the indigenous peoples. And I know even a mad Onyara, because I see in Dara back home, they breastfeed their children. They are running around asking people to give them a to give to their children in the midst of madness. Then why then with our fathers sell us to the Fulanese to come and bring Fulanese with no land, no nothing? It's just that the Britain used them to hold us hostage. Coming now to tell us how we're going to live, allowing our enemies to occupy our space, allowing our enemies to be over us. And you think you're going to progress. And people are making money. And Peter B is there getting ready. Getting ready for 2024. I am deeply hurt that now 2024, with all the church, nothing has changed for our people. Life is more difficult than it's supposed to be. We're not saying that everything will change overnight, but life is not supposed to be this difficult.